Peace, guys. How's it going? Welcome back to another upload. Um, Sat down in nature today, or right now, I mean, and kind of having a really stressful day and stressful few days, um, and a lot of negative energy in my mental field. And so sometimes, getting out in Mother Nature and just feeling the breeze and just hearing the breeze run through nature and hearing all the little animals and critters and the birds and streams of water and all kinds of things, it can be soothing to your mental field. We all have our own mental fields. It's uh, our mental fields are something that are continually uh, infiltrated by negative energy. Negative energy, if that's from, just from people around us in this world, or if it's non physical. It's kind of split, it's like half half for the most part. But, anyways, I want to get into this video. I didn't know the road was so, there's a road like kind of closer by here than I thought. You can kind of hear the car there, I think. So I hope the cars or the traffic isn't too loud on this recording. I think I might if there's like a big truck or something, or like a motorcycle or something, I might just stop talking and just let it breeze on, run through, drive through, and then continue my conversation with you. So I might take some pauses or breaks. So in this video, I believe the title will be something along the lines of um, reincarnation centers, something like that. And I want to open up to you about more of a personal experience, kind of an OBE experience and a personalized experience that I haven't really. I don't think I've talked to really anybody about. To be honest with you, I don't think I don't think I've talked to anybody about this. Again, sometimes it's hard. It's hard to just randomly talk to people around, family or strangers or anybody else about these types of things, because most people just don't believe in it, or they don't understand. They don't put any value in these experiences. Well, I do put value in these experiences, and I put value in your experiences. Um, so after I'm done with this video, if you have any connection or resonance or similar experiences, please don't hesitate to leave comments. If you feel hesitant to actually leave comments on my videos, but you want to reach out or talk to me, just send me a private email. There we go. So just do that instead. So reincarnation centers. Yes, they're real. No, there isn't one reincarnation center. No, the moon is not a sole center for reincarnation, like some other theories and stuff. There are many different types of what you would call, or what I would consider, reincarnation centers that are part of the reincarnational loop process. And that is truth. There's probably hundreds, maybe thousands of different reincarnation centers. And they're not all the same. That's why it can get a little dicey, little tricky sometimes for souls, especially when after you've passed away from physicality, from this body, and the same can be said when you are in the astral structure, when your consciousness is centered either here in this human physical experience, or your consciousness is centered like it has been before in other life cycles, life experiences, for most of us, in the astral structure. You can become susceptible to the reincarnational loops. You know, of course, this whole topic is very complicated. It's very deep. There's a lot of different angles to it, aspects to it, and purposes to it. And the way something has to be said about this too. The way a person processes through the reincarnation centers varies in some cases. It's not cookie cutter like I've said in other videos. So, um, so in this video, what I want to share with you is more a personalized experience with this stuff. Back in 2003, give or take, I didn't, write it down, the time and date, but in my honest opinion, I think I was around 23 years old, and so that would have been about 2003. And I had a pretty interesting out-of-body experience at that time where I accidentally was basically just reality shifting and just kind of roaming around the astral structure. I have to say there have been times where I've had maybe what you would consider longer astral projections. That's not always the case. There's a lot of short ones. There's a lot of failed attempts, right? And then there's some of those medium length or some of those longer experiences. And this was definitely one of those longer out-of-body astral projection experiences. And in this experience, I stumbled across what looked like a, how would you say? It looked just like a ride. Okay, it was like a center, that vibe of going into a center or a sort of specific place, and there were people in a few different lines waiting to go onto a ride, just like going to Disneyland or Magic Mountain or any of these other amusement parks that we have in this reality construct. Very similar kind of vibe. And I remember roaming around there, and I remember there being a couple beings there who were processing people. All of these other beings that were in line at this ride were just in their astral bodies. I mean, everything looked, had a density. It looked just as real as this physical world. I mean, really the same thing, just with small differences with the way the light was in the atmosphere, the lighting, and some other stuff. I'll explain that in a second. I remember in this out-of-body experience being very intrigued by what I was observing. Okay, and I was trying to figure out what this ride was and why there were people waiting in lines for it. And then as I started to, while out of body, in my astral body, starting to engage and converse with different people, people that were processing people through this ride, and also some of the people that were standing in line for this ride. I've always been very inquisitive and, always questioned things and questioned authority and questioned my reality and questioned. So some of those traits I have follow me when I'm out of body. I like to investigate, research, collect data, that kind of stuff, which is what people should do. And so as I'm engaging with these different astral beings while out of body at this center, I quickly realized I quickly realized it was a reincarnation center, and that these beings were signing up to go on the ride, and then that ride essentially puts them into a different reality construct. So they're kind of like signing up for it. And then I kept observing the center. I went by the lines of people, and what they were getting onto was it looked like there was this river, right? It was pretty wide, maybe a few 100 feet wide, um, but it was more of like a synthetic river, or a kind of a. I mean, it looked like a river, but it wasn't really a river. Like you can see what looked like water in this kind of river, but the water was really like kind of foamy. It had like a foamy film to it, and the way that light from the sky was shining down brightly onto this water gave the water kind of like a hue of a, I would say, kind of a purple indigo range of a color. And so it looked like water, but it almost looked more like energy. And it had this like foamy film to it. And the the beings that were in line to go on this ride, um, they were going on to what looked like these little carts or boats. Like they looked like, I think they were about 4 or 5 seats across, and there's many rows. So it looked like a ride, right? Like at an amusement park where you get on the ride, and you get into your different rows of seats, and get your restraints on, and your seatbelts on, and the little the bar comes down in front of you, so it can hold you in place, hold your chest in place. So that's what it definitely reminded me of, and that's what it looked like. And then as I'm having this, this is kind of the personal aspect to this experience is, um, what then made me realize what this really was in that moment, my consciousness, my soul memory, recollected being at this ride before in previous life experiences. I don't know exactly, like how many life experiences ago, but it may be a few life experiences ago, give or take. But it all came back to me. So when I was out of body and I was actually in this reincarnation center, I then had an interesting flashback in that moment, where I remembered the end of one of my life experiences, where I was just one of these astral beings, different life cycle, different life experience, and I got on this ride, and then it all came back to me. Seeing the light, seeing the foamy, like the river with the boats, or these seats that you get on and you go on the ride and all this stuff. It all flashed back to me, and then I remembered that when I was in that other life experience, I remember signing a contract before getting on this ride by those beings that were processing people in line. And in that contract, I was basically signing up to have a life experience in a different reality construct. but what was not mentioned in that contract was that my soul mind, that my memories of that previous life experience would be wiped away. So the reason why I believe, during that out-of-body experience, which was in 2003, roughly over 20 years ago, the reason why I had the flashback and can remember a previous life experience going through that ride of that reincarnation center was because I remembered going on the ride excited that I'm going to experience another experience, right? What I signed up for. But then on the ride, you go out down the river, and you're just going out for a while, and you're just like excited, right? And then there's this drop off, like just like a waterfall kind of effect, or just a cliff, where you just go like you're going on the river and you just go like straight down. And I remember, so in that flashback, I remember the fright and how, you know, how scary it was. You're just flying straight down super fast in that seat. Uh, um, and as it was happening, then I flashed back, or I recollected, remembered in my soul memory how my memories were starting to get erased and deleted as I was cascading down into a different reality or world or experience. And I remember being so angry, so upset that I was tricked and duped. So I think the emotion and the anger of that particular life experience, at the end of that particular life experience, or I remember signing up for accidentally getting my soul mind wiped and getting into another, you know, experience. I remember being so upset and angry, and I think that that emotion in that moment kind of made like at least somewhat of an imprint on my consciousness uh, at that time. And so maybe being out of body and revisiting accidentally into one of these reincarnation centers that were set up like a ride um, helped trigger those memories. You know, so very interesting experience. Just wanted to share it with you guys, and I'm at 16 minutes here. I don't make the video too long because it's too hard to upload if it's too long. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys can leave any comments or questions or any of your own experiences, but the real point of this video is to A, share my experience, and B, to express the truth that the reincarnational loops are real, and soul mind wipe process is something that's real. Almost all of you guys watching this video have been through all this stuff yourselves. Either you can remember some of it, or some of it you can't remember. And also the other point being with this video is that there are many different types of reincarnational centers, and they come in different forms. So you have to be really use discernment and realize what you're getting into. And read the fine print, so to speak. But anyways, but thank you for watching the video. I will talk to you guys very soon.